Corey Pritchett Jr. Since 2018, YouTuber Corey began uploading family vlog-style videos alongside his girlfriend at the time. Within a few years, his channel became a massive success, attracting millions of followers. However, 6 years later, Corey was accused of kidnapping 2 women. It all began on the 23rd of November 2024. Corey had invited these 2 women to ride ATVs before taking them to a bowling center. While at the bowling alley, 2 of his friends joined them, and that's when things took an intense turn. The women noticed Corey and his friends began acting strange and were constantly looking around, but after a while, they learned they were having rival issues with another group that was present at the bowling alley. The women then reportedly told Corey to just leave with his friends if things continued that way, and Corey in turn left with his friends but never returned, leaving the women behind. After some time, the women texted Corey after discovering they had left their stuff in his car, after which he asked them to meet him at an HEB parking lot to get their belongings back. Once there, Corey offered to drive the women home, to which they accepted, but during the drive, he began acting erratic and skipped what was supposed to be the route to drop them off. The women reportedly claimed that at that moment, he also began driving at high speeds exceeding 100 miles per hour while also making phone calls. Almost immediately, he pulled out a gold-colored handgun and began waving it around the sunroof, firing off several rounds out of the car window while still driving erratically fast. He then made a video call to a woman saved on his phone as future wife and asked, "If I have the perfect opportunity and we're in the middle of nowhere where no one could hear them scream, should I just go ahead and do it?" The woman reportedly responded, "Yes." As for the women in his car, they seemingly began to fear for their lives. They told the police that he had threatened them, saying, "I'm going to F y'all and then kill y'all." At that point, the women started texting each other, but Corey noticed and took their phones away. He then pulled off the highway onto the shoulder of I-10 near Sealy, Texas. In what seemed like a sudden change of heart, he told the women to get out of his car with a warning stating, "This is your only opportunity," after which he drove off, leaving them stranded on the side of the road at night. They spent over an hour along the highway before finally flagging down a driver who called 911. Fortunately, one of the women had the Life 360 app on her phone, providing GPS tracking data, timestamps, and screenshots to support their story. It didn't take long before Corey was identified using his driver's license and social media pages. However, when they attempted to contact him, they discovered his phone was no longer in service. Instead, they found out through TikTok that he was planning to move to Dubai. It was later revealed that Corey had purchased a one-way ticket to Qatar on December 9th. Just over 2 weeks later, on December 26th, he was officially charged with 1 count of aggravated kidnapping. But despite the serious charges, Corey continued posting on social media. On January 4th, he shared an article from Houston news station KPRC with the caption, "Letter to the internet, it's gonna be a ball. Let the show begin. Houston, Texas. Let me show you how to take monsters down the smooth way." You see it says accused, right? Don't worry, LOL. I'm going to give you the details here and in the court of law. They're gonna regret f***ing with me like I'm just some goofy or something. Oh, and I got the best lawyer in Houston. The next day, he also posted a video of himself and the victims during a ATV ride, tagging Houston PD and writing sarcastically, "We have a case here of popular YouTuber Corey SSG kidnapping 2 white girls, and he's currently on the run in Dubai. I think IDK. But yeah, the FBI should be after him." Corey later returned to the Houston area, where he was arrested and booked into the county jail on January 17th. However, he was later released on a $200,000 bond under the conditions that he must wear a GPS monitor, surrender his travel documents, and is prohibited from possessing firearms, consuming alcohol or drugs, and also interacting with the 2 women he allegedly kidnapped. His release was reportedly granted because he voluntarily returned to the U.S. Nicolas Daniel Sonderegger. Also known online as Sunspeak, Nicolas is an American YouTuber known for his vlog-style videos, primarily featuring him dancing to songs, all of which are by Hannah Balicious. Hannah Balicious is an indie electro-pop artist who has released several albums, including When I Was Younger 2009 and Ars Poetica 2010. He was also featured on the Sunspeak channel a couple of times. On October 5, 2009, the Sunspeak channel was created, and Nicolas began uploading that same day. On July 31, 2014, he also started a series named A Dance a Day, where he would dance to one Hannah Balicious song each day. A few months later, around December 4th of that same year, the series ended. This was followed by his mysterious disappearance, as he had already stopped uploading on May 5, 2017, 1 year prior. According to his very close friend, Austin, who he spent most of his time with and lived with, that fateful day on September 7th, 2018, at around 2:30 a.m., they heard a female screaming outside their residence at the Salton Sea Beach, California. Nick and Austin debated whether they should go out and investigate the screams, but at some point, Austin went to bed, and the following morning, he woke to find Nicholas missing. He went out searching for him and found his flashlight a block away, but found no signs of him before contacting the police. The police reportedly conducted a search and found one of his boots and a pair of pants near the water, along with his knife sleeve, but no wallet or keys. Austin also conducted a search on the 18th of September and found his hat and shirt in a place he had already looked and was certain they weren't there before, also claiming that Nicholas might probably have lost his life, and whosoever did it was around the area. YouTuber Explore With Us, along with his daughter at the time, would try to conduct some investigation, which led to some pretty complicated issues with Nicholas's sister and also Austin ghosting them. Prior to the incident, Nicholas and Austin had featured on their channel. While doing my research, one comment on one of the video made by this channel about the disappearance caught my eye, alongside another comment made by a Reddit user on a Reddit post on same topic. The one on YouTube stated, "A Google search will show you he was in some way connected to a major meth drug bust in September 2018. I think his uncle has ties with drugs. Nick and Austin both work for the uncle. Something went down. Nick paid with his life. Austin, all of a sudden, has been taken in by the uncle, buying him a truck, etc. And if Austin says too much, he will vanish just like Nick." The one on Reddit stated, "By the looks, yeah, there are dozens of abandoned, rundown buildings covered in graffiti. Salton Sea Beach is known to be a rough town with tons of gang activity. Nick often frequented those abandoned buildings featured in EW's videos. He saw something he shouldn't have, which might explain him disappearing right after he went out to investigate the female screams. Well, all these are speculations, and it is uncertain what actually happened to him." Nicholas Daniel Sonderegger was declared missing a few days after, and a reward of $10,000 was issued for information leading to his whereabouts. To this day, he is still missing. ELIOT EASTMAN. EASTMAN began his YouTube career a little less than 2 years ago and had uploaded over 500 videos to his channel, including live streams on YouTube and other platforms where he documented his day-to-day life. He moved to the Philippines and settled in Cebuco, a part of the Red Zone, where he got married to a local woman named Carisha. According to Eastman, he was the only foreigner to have ever lived in the deep mountains of the Red Zone in the Philippines for an extended period. In many of his videos, Eastman shared his experiences living in the area, sometimes with his wife. But as time went on, he began appearing weary in his videos, stating his relationship with people around the area had now gone bad, including stating they want bad things to happen to him, and often sometimes mentioning kidnappings. This would go on for a while before, sadly on October 17th, Eastman lost his life at the age of 26 after being shot and abducted from his home. 4 armed men with M16 rifles posing as police officers allegedly broke into his home at around 10 p.m., and he was reportedly shot in the leg while trying to resist them from taking him away on a motorboat. After the incident, there were initial beliefs that he was still alive, not until Lieutenant Colonel Ramoncelio Sawan, spokesman for the police regional office of Zamboanga Peninsula, confirmed that a captured suspect provided a confession, confirming that Eastman had lost his life while they were trying to take him away, and his body was thrown into the sea. According to reports, the kidnappers may have mistaken Eastman for a wealthy foreigner, and also may have disapproved of his relationship with the local Muslim woman. It's just sad to see that just weeks before the incident, Eastman had expressed fears for his safety, including on his last live stream. Despite his tragic passing, Eastman would be remembered as a fearless adventurer and somewhat of a legend. TREYERIC SESLER. Trey was born on August 3, 1989, to Rhonda and Lawton SESLER in Waller, Texas, where he grew up with his older brother, Mark. His parents worked regular jobs, his father as an elementary school teacher and his mother at the local newspaper. By all appearances, they were a normal American family. However, as Trey grew older, tensions in the household increased, particularly after he dropped out of college and struggled to find employment. He described himself as a NEET, not in education, employment, or training, a term often used to describe socially withdrawn individuals. Trey launched his YouTube channel, LensCap Productions, on September 14, 2006, and adopted the persona of Mr. Anime. Trey began uploading anime reviews, allowing him to interact with like-minded fans. Over time, his content evolved from simple reviews to more elaborate skits, often featuring his brother Mark. However, soon after, fans began to notice a shift in his demeanor. His videos became darker, and he incorporated unsettling imagery, such as stylized edits of himself getting shot in the stomach. He also began discussing disturbing topics, including mass shootings. His drinking habits reportedly worsened, and in December 2011, he uploaded a video titled, "Very Bad News, Please Watch," revealing he had been diagnosed with pneumothorax, a collapsed lung. He appeared frail and requested prayers from his audience. In early March 2012, Trey uploaded a video ominously titled, "Mr. Anime is planning something." He stated that he had big plans and would be taking a break from making videos. Shortly after, he claimed to have secured his dream job in the film industry, though no evidence of this job ever surfaced. A week later, on March 19, 2012, Trey was reportedly binge drinking when he called his mother into the garage and shot her 4 times in the chest at point-blank range. His brother, Mark, hearing the noise, called out to investigate, only for Trey to shoot him in the head. His father, who was in his room at the time, was confused by the commotion and sat up in bed and was met with the same fate. However, Mark initially survived and managed to crawl into the bathroom, locking the door behind him. Trey forced his way in and finished what he had started, ensuring his brother was no longer breathing before retracing his steps to shoot his mother and father again. After slaughtering his family, Trey trashed the house in a fit of rage, scrawling messages on the walls such as, "I will never forgive my state of mind," and "I love my family." He also killed all their remaining pets before fleeing in his car. Neighbors and relatives, unable to reach the Seslers, contacted the police. When officers arrived at the house at 1 p.m. on March 20th, 2012, they found the message Trey had written. They began searching for him immediately, and he was located less than 24 hours later at a friend's house. Upon arrest, he immediately confessed. He was initially calm, but later became emotional, seemingly struggling to process his actions. During interrogation, the full extent of his plan emerged. Trey had intended to commit a mass shooting, planning to kill at least 70 people in an attack modeled after the Columbine massacre. He had been practicing for this event by starting small fires and killing animals. He even drove to his old school, Waller Junior High, intending to shoot into the crowd during a homecoming game. He was later charged with 3 counts of capital murder and was sentenced to life imprisonment. His disturbing transformation from a seemingly harmless anime reviewer to a cold-blooded murderer remains one of the darkest chapters in YouTube history.